And Chase Long.
Chase Long.
That's right. I got
Congratulations, Chase Long.
Did I get panned to this time?
Yeah, you're on screen.
Sick.
Yeah. Why are we
What's up?
congratulating Chase?
I'm
Did something happen with Chase?
Yeah, he's the fittest person on this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How did you
Just
do?
want to let's have just a quick round of applause. Chase Long, who nearly lost 18.1 to Giannis.
Ah.
Giannis was like
This
2
is
reps
a
short.
Stretch.
2 reps short of beating Chase
10
on like
reps
his
short.
like
He was 368, right?
something like that.
Wait, did
10.
you and Giannis do it together? Was it
No.
all in the same
No.
place? Okay, different location.
No, we did we'll also do it
It's
separately.
a shame. I feel like with that competitive edge, Giannis may have pulled ahead.
Well,
So
no,
we
no,
could've-
no, they could sense each other like
Yeah.
across the ether.
Yeah, it's like I don't even want to talk about. It's
So
anyway.
yeah,
Chase,
18.1.
tell me. So 18.1. Quick reminder for those of you who give a shit. AMRAP 20 minutes. 8 toes to bar. 10
What's so funny now?
clean and jerks.
What's so hilarious about
Kyle was leaning into
You
my
enjoy
shot.
leaning into Armin's camera.
10 clean and jerks
man,
and like
yeah.
a 12 or 14 calorie row. Wow.
Yeah, the framing
It's
isn't
so
great on this
weird.
here because my head is mainly hidden behind Armin's in the wide, but so
Good podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, good.
Anyway, fitness.
Yeah. So Chase got, what'd you get? 399?
399.
Why not 400? You little bitch.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why you're doing 18.1, there is no running counter. Like, you just have your judge, and they're not giving you, they're just telling you where you're at in that workout at that particular time.
Yeah.
So 5 clean and jerks into 18.1, the 13th round, is like 397. It's 397. Now, if you had a clock and you had a running counter, you would know that you're only 3 reps away
No,
from
man.
400.
I don't know. You showed me
true.
video of your last round, and I could see entirely find areas where you just pussed out and
If you
should have
watched
gotten
the
that
entire
extra rep.
video, you could see, yeah, maybe Chase could have got 420.
Do we
Same way
have
you could
access to
watch-
Chase's video? Has it been uploaded? Is it
No,
on-
he just has it on his
Oh.
phone.
Chase.
It's the same way you could watch
Chase,
your
send that to me now.
workout and be like, wow, there's the same amount of time. He could have probably got 420. Just because it's possible doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Why weren't you doing reps continuously the whole time? I don't
I got
understand.
freaking tired.
What I think the problem is
That sounds like a fitness issue
Yeah,
to me,
Exactly.
Chase.
The problem is, could hear hints of the problem in how you're describing the workout. You describe one of the movements as the clean and jerk. Now, I don't believe there really were clean and jerks in this. The proper name is hammer curl to overhead press.
That's right.
The curl and press.
Thank you very much, Clifford. 100% true. Because you guys, Cliff did 18.1
Cliff did
as
18.
fucking well.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I feel
RX?
great about it. RX, of course.
His toes touched that bar.
They
Goddamn
did.
right.
They clanged into that bar every time. I even no-repped myself for one toe to bar.
That's
and
unnecessary.
That's a significant statement because every toe to bar for me is a max effort.
Who are you trying to show off for that you no-repped yourself?
Honor is a gift a man gives himself.
Wow.
So said Rob Roy. In
And
that
what?
one
And how did
movie.
you do, Cliff? How did you do on the?
I got a score that for me is how I measure how well I
No more
do.
qualification. Just give me a number.
I measure how well I do in CrossFit, always have, based on if I manage to get half the number of reps as a very fit person. And so I got 210 reps, which is adequately right at half of what fit people
That
get.
is fantastic.
2 units away from Chase and
Slightly,
Giannis.
Right.
slightly more than half of what the fittest person in this room got, so which is why I'm disappointed in Chase there, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so Cliff actually posted the obligatory hand tear
Yep.
Well,
photo.
that is a really saturated monitor there.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have.
How's your hand? Is it better? Is it
Oh,
still
it's fine.
jacked?
Oh, who cares? No, there's
Oh, who
just a little
cares?
cut.
It's just my hand.
It's like when you
I don't
spent.
need it.
I spent like 6 years with my hands perpetually bleeding as a
Exactly,
result
yeah.
of CrossFit. So a couple of tears here and there is not a big deal.
Hashtag FitMata.
I did not do 18.1, and I'm happy with my
Why not?
decision. You know, fitness. I actually did. I went to ABP and I was warming up some of the movements. It was like that. I'm not committing to doing it, but I'm taking the first step in a series of steps that's going to end with me just committing to doing the workout. And I was stopped from doing the workout in part.
You played just the tip with the workout.
Exactly. I was stopped in part by another guy who was at ABP doing the workout, doing 18.1, because one of the rowers was occupied by a girl who just was never getting off that fucking rower, and the other rower was being used intermittently by a guy who did the full 20-minute workout. And what was funny is he was doing toes to bars, but for him, he also, much smaller than Cliff, a little fit guy, but clearly had never even attempted a toe to bar before. So it was every single one of them was like a reverse crunch where he just was like flailing his legs up and touching the bar. So I'm warming up for a while thinking, this guy's not going to finish the workout. He's not going to go all 20 minutes. I'll just stay here until the end. I eventually give up because he's doing the whole thing and he's using the other rower, every few minutes and going through it. So I'm like, fuck it. And so I just go back to doing curls and just the kind of, the fitness kind of stuff that I do. And then he comes over, he finishes his workout and he comes over to me and he says, hey, can I get some pointers on toes to bars from you? I was like, I guess, man.
I heard the whole thing, man. You had some great coaching on technique.
You coached a guy?
I coached a guy.
What did you tell him?
I told him, and this
Quit
is the key.
CrossFit.
Yes, exactly. I said, do CrossFit. No, I gave him basic toe to bar. What I said, and this is advice for any of you out there who are trying to get better at your toes to bar, is I said you got to start with a basic kip. There you go. Isn't it weird? Yes. Yeah, isn't it though? Well, the difference is given the angle of the camera, I'm in your shot when I get to here, and then see there. So I'm talking into my microphone is in your shot. So whereas it takes a lot there. See, there's a whole lot. Yeah.
The prep time today was.
All right. Anyway, so the pointers we're still having a lot of fun with these camera angles.
Oh yes.
Your pointers for toes to bar.
Yeah.
Do less. Nope. You're doing too little. Do more than that. Nope. Doing too much.
Yes. I told you got to start with that basic kip, and then you got to really focus on pulling yourself behind the bar, making sure you're kind of applying pressure, pulling yourself behind the bar. And I was really, I don't know how to give people advice on technique without going like really fundamental. So I started talking about a kip and how to get a good basic kip going, and how then you're going to just exaggerate that kip, and you're going to pull yourself far behind the bar, and then you're just going to flick up and touch. And then I turned to look at him, and he was just fucking nothing, like a brick wall. It was just blank. I think, in all honesty, I had gone a little bit too abstract. I think he was expecting me to say something like, make your hands wider or something like that. And I talked for 5 minutes straight about, anyway. So
yeah,
what?
so
you
I'm
talked
already
for 5
bored.
minutes straight all on your own,
Okay. That's a good point. Where'd you guys? I was out of town, so where'd you guys do 18.1? Did you go to
Exedium? Yeah, Giannis and I on Saturday. We went and in the morning just went to our local CrossFit gym, Exedium, which is right down the street from both of us, and that's where we did it. Yeah, it was good. We warmed up with the group and then watched the first heat, judged the second heat, and then tried to warm up again in like the 5-minute break in between, and then we're in the third heat.
So there was heats, and there was multiple people like doing this pretty competitively. Like they were. Really
I wouldn't say anybody was actually competitive.
Okay.
Giannis and I by far were the two best scorers, and neither of us have CrossFitted in like 6 months.
What about you, Cliff? Were you at ABP?
ABP all on my own, no judge, totes unofficial. But like I said, I no-repped one of my toes to bar, and I was very proud of myself for doing that.
That means your score is more legit than probably 60% of the scores that are on the leaderboard.
That is
probably true.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of shenanigans going on with leaderboard. There always has been. There always will be. That's totally fine. Chase had a really interesting story about how he did. Well, actually, before I got 332. My goal was to get into the 11th round. I got into the 11th round. Nice. I was very happy with that goal. I beat Dave Castro, and then Dave Castro repeated, and I still beat Dave Castro.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yep. And he likes CrossFit.
Yeah. He constantly posts about doing main site.
Yeah.
But the most important question, though, is if you got a score of 332, was that RX'd or was that scale?
RX.
Okay, so how are you going to go head-to-head with Chase on the RX versus scale leaderboard?
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen, I
abandoning
think.
it all together.
Until there's a workout that I
boo.
have to scale, and then once I have to scale it, then we can just do that one workout.
And you can look at the leaderboard by workout, so we can look at that particular one.
It's true.
And
I just
see
think
how
I think that Armin's just committed himself to doing all RX regardless. Of,
It's gonna get ugly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. It'll
Yeah.
get real ugly because I tried to do some pull-ups this morning and I was doing sets of 4. So
I think you might be doing them wrong.
maybe. But Chase actually, his first shot through was probably what could be described as an unmitigated disaster. I mean, I told him.
This is very strong.
I told him, Chase, you have to get
Oh, you did
through 12 rounds.
You did multiple times?
I said, Chase, you have to get through 12 rounds. If you don't get through 12 rounds, you little bitch. And he said, all right, fam, I'll get that done, dog. And he went and he didn't even finish 12 rounds and then was like, how did you and Giannis do? And then I texted him our scores. And you know when you text someone and he has red receipts on, so it goes like red, and then it goes the ... And then the ... disappeared, and I was like, he's fucking furious. He's so pissed right now. I could just see him like type something out and be like, you motherfucker. Delete. So Chase was hyper furious because he was nearly beaten by 2 guys who literally do not CrossFit. And he's been CrossFitting real hardcore. And I told him, I was like, listen, based off of what we got, Chase should be at 400 reps. Like that is 100% accurate. Like this needs to happen. And so he was going to come into town he was on a softball work trip. He was going to come to town on Monday afternoon, and I was going to pick him up from the airport, take him to the gym, and coach him through to 400 reps. That was going to happen. And then
That was planned.
tell me, Chase, and tell our listeners what happened instead of that.
So my flight from Palm Springs to LAX and then to Austin left at 6:30 in the morning. And I was like, shit, that's going to be tough. I'm going to be a little tired, but I'll sleep on the flight and I'll get to Austin pretty well rested. Made my flight from Palm Springs to LA, no problem. I was at the airport plenty of time. Got through security, got to LA. Super dope. I was there an hour before my connecting flight. Hour before. I was like, sick. I got enough time to go eat and chill out and maybe knock out a little bit of work. So I get
where
to the
his
terminal.
mistake was. Go ahead, Chase. Continue.
I get to the correct terminal. It's 70B.
He's giving the fucking gates. All right, go ahead.
70B, and I'm there like 50 minutes before boarding.
50.
50 minutes, 50, before boarding's supposed to start. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go grab some granola bars. I'm going to set up shop, charge my phone. Doing this all at the terminal. Everything's within 10 feet of each other.
Every time I hear this, there's more details that make it fucking funnier.
And,
Okay.
So I pop squat, I'm working, and have my headphones on, and I look up at the gate, and the gate sign says...
Don't be skipping the important portions of this
The
story,
gate sign says all groups now boarded, and that I was like,
wait, just to clarify, you sat at the gate while your entire flight boarded in front of you, and you missed your flight. Is that accurate?
all right, and so I see that on the sign.
He's skipping my favorite part of the story. Chase was like so confident in the amount of time that he had that he went and took a luxurious dump.
Okay, so
stopping by the snack bar on the way back
I had already ate, went, took a dump, came back, and on the way I was like, I got plenty of time. I didn't just spend 20, 30 minutes taking a dump. And I picked up another granola bar because I just flushed everything out of my system, got back, saw that the sign said all groups now boarded, and I'm like, oh shit. Checked my phone, took a drink of water, and then I watched the sign said, it switched right before my eyes to boarding closed and the door shut.
He saw the sign that says all groups boarded and thought, nah, that doesn't mean what I think it means. just hung out for a second too fucking long.
So I panicked, went over to the door. It like literally had finished closing as I'm stepping to it. I grab it, pull it open, an alarm goes off. And I was like, oh shit, I just set off an alarm. And in an airport as a brown man, this is not a good sign. And I was told that I had to
Chase was
stand
tackled
there.
by security.
No, I stood there and nothing bad ever happened to me. They were just like, don't do that. Now stand here and wait for someone to come talk to you. No one did. So I went to customer service, watched the flight, watched the plane. I could see it outside the window, and I was like, can you guys just like pop open the door real quick?
Yeah. So just to clarify, and I'm curious, were you away participating in your luxurious dump or granola bar acquisition when the flight boarded, or were you actually sitting there working when the flight boarded?
There was a flight that boarded right before mine for Las Vegas that I saw people get on for, but I think I left just as they switched to boarding by groups.
Gotcha.
And I didn't realize.
There you go. Don't trust
The
airports.
lesson is don't take luxurious dumps at airports. Take
honestly-
frantic dumps at airports.
Honestly, I think it worked out for the better, because if I would have had to travel all that time on the plane, I would have been nice and like cramped up and sore and probably pretty tired, because I probably wouldn't have slept that well on the plane. And then I would have hit the workout at like 6 o'clock this time. And
Or
who knows how
Chase, did you lack confidence in your ability to hit 400 reps, and so you lollygagged at the airport?
No.
Now,
Conspiracy theory.
this actually ended up working in Chase's favor.
How's that?
Chase gave me a call and he was like, "Hey man, I missed my flight." After I collected myself from nearly dying of laughter, I let him know that
I cleaned up the vomit.
I let him know that there's a really fucking good gym right down the street from the airport called Deuce, owned by a really good friend of mine.
named.
See what I did there? And so I sent him over that direction, and he got to work out in one of the coolest fucking facilities in the world.
Nice.
Chase, please tell me you dropped a deuce at Deuce.
Did you?
Yeah,
No, he was all clear.
Full disclosure, I got there and then there was like 2 more. I did 2 deuces.
He did
at
2
Deuce.
poos, you guys. He made bears twice in that day. Well, you were eating a lot of granola, so that's understandable.
My options were I could take another reconnecting flight at 11:45 that would take me to Houston and get me back to Austin at 7 p.m., or I could wait, catch the next direct flight to Austin at 7. And I was like, if I'm going to redo this workout, I gotta stay here till 7. So I did that. So I was in LA all day just hanging out at Deuce Gym, so I had several bowel movements.
Nice.
Several.
Yes.
As per usual.